Hey guys, Carol here with the Lighthouse at Grace. So today's the day. I've been posting things a little bit on social media about our upcoming Lighthouse at Grace Human Trafficking Awareness Prevention Education for Youth, our online education. So today's our first day, so I'm super excited. Just to let you know, before I got out here to my front porch to do this video, so just a warning, you might hear, a dog bark or dump truck drive by or a rooster crowing. Before I got out here, I was trying to set up in I'm calling it our Lighthouse Studio / Lighthouse Classroom with our backdrop, our lighting, tripod, all that good stuff. And I got super frustrated. And, I started to give up and say, you know what, I'm not going to do it today. But I said, girl, go wash your face. I think that was actually the Lord telling me, girl, go wash your face. So I went and washed my face, said a prayer. Here I am. So I hope that encourages someone out there. If you're having difficulty with something, that the Lord's put on your heart and you're getting discouraged, I'm here to say, don't get discouraged. Okay, girl, go wash your face. Or guy, go wash your face. And keep moving forward. So hope that encourages somebody. So we have been doing human trafficking awareness prevention education for about the past 5 years for adults and youth. We're focused on youth because that's who the predators are targeting is our youth. And so we're very focused on getting this out to our young people. But we have barely scraped the surface. And so the Lord has put this on my heart. He put it on my heart a few months ago about doing this online and bringing it online to social media so that more people can get educated about human trafficking. Because one of the frustrations that I've had over the past 5 years in doing this is the tremendous misconceptions that people have about what trafficking is, what it looks like, how it happens. So I've asked many people, in our presentations and just one-on-one conversations, that question, what do you think human trafficking is? And across the board, I have really heard pretty much kind of the same answer from teens and adults alike. And it's usually something along the lines of, the first thing that flies out of their mouth is, oh, it's when a kid's kidnapped. It's when a kid is snatched. And then the answers kind of vary after that. It's when they're kidnapped, they're snatched, they're sold to another country, they're forced to do things against their will for money, they're forced to have sex for money, they're sold at the border, trafficking happens at the border. Those are the general answers that I get. And yes, absolutely, those things happen. But ironically, the kidnapping and the snatching, that's actually the least prevalent way that trafficking happens. And so that's one of my goals and my hopes and my prayerful hopes is that we can, help with some of these misconceptions, help to clear those up. So let's go ahead and kick off our first lesson. So I've got this little teaching tool / slide to show you. So this is what the crime of human trafficking looks like. So just looking at this, doesn't this look a lot more involved than just snatching a child and selling him or her to another country? Absolutely. So what this is the Trafficking Victims Protection Act of 2000, the TVPA for short. And I love this model. It's called the AMP model because it helps us understand. It's very easy and clear to understand. So when any of those actions are committed in the blue column, through any of the three means in the red column, for the purpose of either, and look in the purple column, for the purpose of either commercial sexual exploitation or forced labor, that's when you have human trafficking. So just to kind of touch on these to help us understand a little bit better. So look over back in the action column, the blue column, recruiting, that is grooming and luring someone into trafficking. Harboring is housing someone. Transporting, think of transportation. We know what that means. Driving someone in a car to a buyer appointment or their place of business where they're forced to do labor for little to no pay. Providing, obtaining, we know what those words mean. Providing a person over to another person and then them obtaining that human being for the purpose of exploitation. We know what those words mean, providing and obtaining. Then in that last little box, we've got 3 words, and these actions are specific to sex trafficking only. So we have patronizing, which is being a patron or a customer of a sexually illicit business. We've got soliciting, which is the actual act of prostitution, purchasing a person for sex. And then the last one is advertising. We all know what advertising is. If any of us have sold, a car or a couch or something on Facebook Marketplace, we take photos and we advertise that, and so that people can see the product that's up for sale. And human beings are being advertised for sale. So those are the actions that make up the crime of trafficking. And then when any of those actions are committed through any of these three means, so force, we all know what force is. That's where everybody's brain goes there first. Kidnapping, snatching, beating someone up. Fraud, we know what that is. That's deceiving someone, tricking someone, promising something that's not going to happen, like a modeling job, tricking them. Then coercion, you may or may not have heard that word. That's like threatening somebody, manipulating someone. And if you notice that little comment there below, when it comes to a minor and the actions and the purpose in the blue and the purple column, none of the means have to be proven when it comes to a minor, someone that's under the age of 18. Force, fraud, and coercion do not have to be proved when it comes to a minor. If any of those actions are committed for the purpose of commercial sexual exploitation or forced labor, when it comes to a minor, that's automatic human trafficking. So we touched on this briefly. Like I said, this is our first lesson today. My main purpose in this, like I said, was to show you that trafficking is much more than just snatching and kidnapping a child and selling them. So that was my purpose today. We're gonna go much deeper into things as we go. So y'all stay tuned and we won't stop fighting. Y'all have a blessed day. Thanks for watching.